tuners are fitted. They're not exactly the ideal tuners for this type of guitar because they have the square construction, but they're the lightest, and so weight was the key factor. I found a nut that I thought I'd lost. It could certainly do with replacing, but we don't need to get to that just now. I'll have to make a new truss rod cover. We'll get to that as well later on. So I don't think the fretboard suffered any major traumas as a result. Started unfitting the hardware to the body. One little complication was obviously all the hardware has to be grounded, and the way you normally do it is you run a wire so that it's crimped inside here with this mounting hardware. And I think what happened is when I sprayed it, I'm not quite sure how or why, but it looks like the little hole between the pickup pocket and here somehow got filled. So that was a little annoying to get that redone so I could poke the wire through. But we got there in the end. The other thing I realized is these knobs are way too big, so there isn't enough room here, so I'm going to have to put smaller knobs on. But then with this type of body, there isn't room to spread them out because the pocket itself is quite small, and the selector switch heads off in this direction, and so it takes up all the room. Anyway, we're getting there. We're getting there. Next up is pickups. So that's the messy bit done. So it's just a basic hookup. If I get into fancy stuff later, we'll see. So next up, I guess, is fit the bridge, the tailstock, string it up, and start doing the adjustments. Hey guys, so I need to make a truss rod cover because the standard one doesn't quite fit, because mine has 3 holes, one over here, one over here, and one over here. And when you fit it, there is a piece of the slot for the truss rod comes out still exposed. So I need to make another one. So I don't have any of this black and white plastic to make it, but what I do have is a piece of Abalone. So what I've done here is I've copied this one out, and I've added an extra little piece on the end here to make sure we cover the full truss rod slot. So I haven't done any shell work for a little bit. Hopefully it'll all come back to me. I don't know if I can rig up a camera for this, but I'll either will, or you'll see it when it's done. Well, it's not brilliant, but it's close enough, and so I'll be doing a little bit of dressing on this for a while before it gets to where it needs to be, but basically there. So here we go, after lots of polishing and polishing and polishing. There's still blemishes on it, but you'll never get it perfect with this stuff, especially on the back side of the sheet. But I think that's pretty amazing in terms of its colors. That's pretty cool. That'll do me for bling. Now the challenge is I need to drill 3 tiny holes in this thing without shattering it. So I think I'll be getting some other pieces of shell out and doing experimenting on how you drill this stuff before I come back at this with a drill. And so some tense minutes later, we have 3 holes drilled in it. I'm not cracking anything. I use these diamond burrs for the Dremel. And yeah, we got there. We got there. Here we go. Headstock with bling fitted. So getting there, we're almost finished. There's some fret work to be done. There were some frets that had lifted up on the high string side. And there's 1 or 2 buzzing frets on the low string side between the sort of 8th and 10th fret. Frets don't look to have risen up, so I guess that'll be a little bit of fret dressing. So we're almost at the finish here. Ooh, won't be long now. You can see I fitted higher pickup rings and different knobs. Altogether much more playable. So final stages. I got some buzzing frets, and so this fret here is high, but only on this side a little bit. So the fret doesn't seem like it has dislodged, so I guess maybe the frets either side are just worn. So we're going to try and dress this one a little bit and see if we can get rid of the buzz. Well guys, I remember saying a very long time ago that the very last thing to be done when everything else was done would be to cut and fit the cover for the control cavity. And so the time has come, and there it is. One slight complication, which I kind of figured I might encounter but was hoping I wouldn't. There just isn't enough wood underneath here to get a proper screw hole. So this hole here actually goes in at an angle like that, so I have wood to bite on for the drill bit. So this screw is a little cockeyed. I may find a better fix for that later. But for the rest, we're good. I do believe that's the end of this build. Who would have thought?